the old legislations, this is 1974 legislation, permitted you to get a divorce if you could prove to a judge that your marriage had broken down irretrievably. Okay? However, you weren't going to get your divorce if all you said is, my marriage broke down irretrievably. You had to prove it by reference to certain facts. And those facts were that your spouse has behaved unreasonably, or that your spouse has committed adultery, that you've been separated for 2 years and your spouse consents. Or if none of those applied, then you'd have to wait 5 years of being separate before you could get your divorce, right? And it was up to the judge to make a determination as to whether you met the criteria. Okay? Fast forward then almost 50 years later, and the provision now is that you have to prove the irretrievable breakdown of the marriage, but you don't have to prove the facts that led to it. So under the new legislation, all you have to do is you have to file your application for a divorce order, and you have to file a statement asserting that your marriage has broken down irretrievably. The period of time where certain events happen under the new legislation is quite long, because it is intended to give the parties a cool-off period to really think about whether this is what they really want. So you file your application with your statement, and then you have to wait 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, you file a statement saying, yes, you really do want to proceed with a divorce. It is only then that your divorce can be listed and a divorce order can be made. The divorce order itself is conditional. You have to wait another 8 weeks before you can apply for a final divorce order. Within that time period, that 8 weeks, your spouse can apply to the court to have his or her financial situation taken into consideration before the judge makes the order final. Okay? If that happens, the period of time that it will take to get the final order will be extended by the time it takes for the court to consider that application, right? So you can see that the potential is that it will take longer to get your divorce, but it will be less acrimonious to do so.
But you'd like to see it maybe like the UK change to a 1-year bar? You think that would be more?
Yes, personally, I think that sometimes parties just make a mistake and know it very early on. And there's no interest to society in keeping parties together for 3 years. The reality is, divorce is makes a big impact on people's standard of living, on children's standard of living, and if a marriage is experiencing difficulties but is capable of reconciliation, then certainly the parties should be encouraged to seek out counseling where possible to see if they can remedy their marital relationship before launching in. Because once you file these documents, doesn't matter what your spouse says, right? Once you confirm to the court that for you the marriage is at an end, then the court must take that as being so.